Welcome back to the show. I'm joined by my son and co-host Noah Ben.
Hey.
And we are get in here. And today we are going to be talking about a movie that we saw in theaters recently. What was the movie?
It was called Iron Lung.
It was called Iron Lung. And did you like it?
I loved it.
We're going to be talking all about our feelings about the movie. But we are at the opposite of we are pretty much the opposite
Let me say,
of.
we are in the exact opposite of an iron lung underneath a blood ocean.
Yes.
We are outside.
We're outside.
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather. It's going to be a great time. We hope you enjoy. It took me way too long to edit this. I know the movie came out like 4 weeks ago now, but here's the review. Cold fries, here you go. And I'm going to move these pizzas out of the way. We got a hand-tossed pan pizza from Domino's, and it's got actually really good pepperonis on it. My friend told me that if the pepperonis curl on the corner, that means they're really good pepperonis. So I look out for that now. That same friend, who shall not be named, is JP, did a video where they taste tested all the fast food pizzas. And they said, on blind taste test, he said, and I believe him, because they know a lot of food stuff, right?
Yeah.
That the pan pizza Domino's, the medium pan pizza from Domino's, is the best. And he was so emotional in that video about the Domino's medium pan pizza that I was like, that's the only pizza I'll ever eat from Domino's now. And literally, I tried to get the regular pizza once, and it was just so not good. It was like cardboard compared to the handmade pan. So always get the handmade pan if you're going to Domino's. Iron Lung. Now, I'm sure I'll get judgments in the comments about me taking my 14-year-old to go see a not PG-rated film, but I did because we are big Markiplier fans in this house. We wish he cussed less, but otherwise, I think he's a very interesting, fantastic, cool human being. And he made a movie based on a video game by
David Schmansky, I think.
Independently financed, produced, everything film based on a indie game on Steam from years ago that he played on his YouTube channel. And then now he became director, producer, actor, everything on this movie.
I believe it also won an award for most fake blood ever shown on a movie.
Most fake blood ever shown on the movie. We're going to talk about that. Shot largely in a practical single submarine unit. Did you see some of the behind the scenes about that?
No, I didn't actually.
It's really, really cool. They had like an exoskeleton and it moved around with all the blood in it. It was really cool looking. We'll probably play some B-roll of that.
I'm actually pretty sure they was filmed in a warehouse in Texas.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think I heard that somewhere. Like, it was hot in there. Like, so when he said it's hot, it's like, it really was.
But I asked Noah about this earlier. What is a liminal space? I think that Markiplier's new movie qualifies as a type of film that I've talked about on this channel before, which is single location catastrophes. Unfortunately, Noah, you don't know this about me, but I had a really bad habit when I was younger. I loved liminal spaces. Anytime there was a space that was like empty, I would just love to walk in that space.
I have that same habit.
Really?
I'm not joking.
It's a really bad habit because I feel like if we traveled around the world, it'd be so easy to be killed or lost or something bad to happen to you. You're not where you're supposed to be. But it's not so much about being where you're not supposed to be. It's just about being in this empty,
it's like so
quiet
it feels majestic and peaceful because there's not so much activity.
Yeah, it's true. And also, interestingly, we had between us a very unique experience. Noah and I had a very unique experience because we went to New York City. I don't know if you remember years ago when we went.
I think.
And we drove to New York City, and I think it was the beginning of 2020 or the end of 2019. So you must have been how old? Maybe 9 years old, 10 years old. We drove to New York to visit my family who lives near the city, who lived near there at the time. We got to drive to New York City because they live close, like 45 minutes. And because COVID had so it must have been March or something, because COVID had just started becoming very scary for the world. And it was like right before everything was locked down, but people were like starting to freak out. And the city was
empty.
More empty than I've ever seen it, ever. Like, I think even if you did a film crew and you like blocked off the space, it probably wouldn't have been as empty as it was when we went there. Day and night. It was easy to find parking anywhere in the city. You could walk everywhere. There were not a lot of people around most of the time. And it was very eerie. It was like a liminal space, a place where people normally are. And then suddenly there were like barely any people there. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it's like when you walk into a parking lot, like after the Hurricane Ian, when we walked into like that Books A Million Plaza.
Yeah.
There was
Oh,
no
yeah.
cars. It was liminal. It was so scary. It was weird.
Yes, that is another example of a liminal space that we got to go to. We live in Florida, and there was this huge hurricane called Hurricane Ian that hit us very directly, and everything shut down for a long time. Literally,
Yeah, there was a fly fishing boat with policemen on it.
Yeah.
That was literally driving across the flooded streets.
Yeah, it was crazy. And yes, we tried to go to stores, and we went to Books A Million because I wanted to go there. Because I love Books A Million. And it was empty. It was totally liminal space. So, Noah, would you consider the iron lung a liminal space?
Well, that's where I have like a differing opinion from you. You think the entire thing is a liminal space. I think only the submarine is a liminal space.
Okay. Why not the whole ocean?
Because the ocean itself it's blood. There's not something that you would normally see yourself naturally walking into, a blood ocean.
Okay.
Liminal spaces are things that you normally see in your day-to-day life, and you would expect there to be activity there. In a blood ocean, you would not expect there to be anything alive there. So really, there's nothing for your brain to like say, oh, this usually has activity, so it's kind of weird that there's nothing here.
Interesting.
But the submarine, however, multiple people normally pilot a submarine. And it's so claustrophobic and you're alone and all you have is the voice in like a PA in the submarine. It's kind of liminal.
Huh. Interesting.
It's just so empty. And like that's when Markiplier himself in the movie, not in the actual set, was having hallucinations about like people and voices and that weird scene where everything got consumed by blood.
Oh, yeah.
Going crazy because it's so empty. It's lonely.
That was crazy. Also, what was that outfit what was that thing that he was wearing across his shoulders?
I honestly don't know. I think it might have either been like some kind of backpack he had on or some kind of vest.
I was trying to figure out like what that could possibly have been for.
Well, I mean, he was a convict. He was a prisoner there, so maybe they had to have him wear it for like regulation.
So iron lung, the lung itself, definitely liminal space. Even though a liminal space is technically supposed to be a familiar place that is now eerily empty.
Well, it's not only that. It's normally, even if you don't see it familiarly, it's like man-made objects in general are kind of liminal without people.
Interesting. You know, I liked it a lot more on the second viewing with you than I did on the first viewing.
I liked it a lot on my first viewing.
The submarine set was physically constructed and restrictive. Cameras were often locked into tight lenses to heighten claustrophobia. I really loved the color scheme, and Markiplier has, as an editor, I don't know how much editing he did for this, but I know he works in DaVinci Resolve. The greens and the white, and what was the other color? And like the rust
red?
color. Like green, white, and rust color. The red was an accent that came in the film and then grew towards the end. And that detail was really, really cool to me. Just the lighting and the way the colors of the clothes and the inside, the interior, just everything came together beautifully.
I think it was really cool when Markiplier got that little cut when he bandaged it up. It started off red and then it like eventually dried up. I think that was nice because it adds a little bit of realism.
Oh.
Because like in some horror movies, the blood just stays bloody instead of drying.
That's a good point, Noah. Yeah.
Yeah, like it actually turns brown.
And fun fact, that movie was only going to go to like 7 theaters in the entire United States. 7 theaters. And then people started calling their local theaters going, hey, we want to see Markiplier's movie. We want to see Markiplier's movie. To the point where the theater chains, they were calling him and being like, hey, are you paying people to like call us? Like, no, literally that's just my fans. Because of course, he's one of the biggest, most well-known OG YouTubers in the world.
Who hasn't quit?
He just has all those fans. Like he's got 20 plus million fans. So yeah, they just wanted to see the movie. So now it went from 7 theaters to thousands of theaters to international release. It was only supposed to go on 1 week. It did so well, it almost beat The Weeknd for a Disney film. Think about that. It almost beat a Disney film on its opening weekend. It beat it like 2 out of the 3 days. Almost the 3rd day it beat it. Crazy opening weekend numbers. Did so well that it is still 2 weeks later in theaters, which is crazy. I think that's so cool.
Like I can only imagine how packed the theaters must have been on the first day of its release in our theater. Also, I have a little theory of my own. So you know the blood ocean obviously isn't a person's blood, because like it was an uninhabited planet that we know of.
Yeah.
To our knowledge, it's uninhabited. We just found it. So that blood couldn't have been a person's. So that blood must have been some special blood. And you know how blood is made of plasma?
Yes.
Well, that blood might have been like a corrosive plasma instead of normal blood. Later in the movie...
Is blood made of plasma?
Blood is plasma, yeah.
Blood is made up of about 55% blood plasma and about 45% different types of blood cells. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood which makes up a little over half of the total volume.
Okay.
This is from NIH.
Okay, hey Siri, stop. That's enough.
Yeah, anyways, as we know now,
Yes.
it's 55% plasma. I think that blood might have been a little bit more plasma because when it dripped on his head, it literally created like a gashing wound.
Yeah, that was creepy. I hated that. Ooh, that was gross.
And also like how it corroded his skin and when he
Ooh,
tore
I
off
think
that
what he
bandage.
had was radiation poisoning.
Well, I don't think there's radiation there, or else how would the people be surviving by sitting up there themselves?
No, from the ship, from all the.
Oh, from the pictures.
Yeah, from the pictures,
'Cause
because
it's
they
X-ray.
said it was thick enough, but I don't think so.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Did the long? I felt like the second time I watched it, I felt like some of the middle part was too long. Like of him just like looking for stuff, it was a little bit long. Did you ever get bored for how long it was? Like he was just sitting there looking at things?
Well, yes and no. I mean, like, yeah, because in normal movie standards, just being there isn't like really eventful. It's kind of boring, lose interest. But no, because in the game, that's basically what you do. That's half the gameplay. Just looking.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I was watching you and you did not seem distracted or bored at all. You seemed very invested the whole movie.
I was, because it's so realistic that
Yeah.
they would add that little boring little sections, because that's part of the game.
Yeah. And also, he freaked out because towards the beginning, they started saying this thing and you're like, oh, that's from the game. What was it? The thing that he started saying on the radio or something. You're like, oh, that's...
This is not an expedition. This is an execution.
Yeah, what is that from the game?
No, that's from the trailer. It might be from the game. I don't know.
Did you ever forget while you were watching the movie that you were watching Markiplier? Did you ever feel like he was the character fully? Or did you always feel like, oh, I'm watching Markiplier?
Well, it's kind of confusing because I thought both at the same time.
Okay.
Because I knew it was Markiplier.
Yeah.
Because like he has his own like special flair in
Yes.
acting and doing things like you two.
Uh-huh.
But also, he just got so into the character. It was like it looked like he was conveying real emotion,
Okay.
which not all actors can do. Like he was it genuinely seemed like he was terrified in certain sections.
He did, yeah.
And it genuinely seemed like he was begging for help or the way out.
He did, yeah, he was very believable.
Like I could have believed that was a real person without context.
If it had had more action, would that have made it better or worse, in your opinion?
Actually, I think it would have made it worse.
Really, why?
Because in the game, there's not a whole lot of action. It's just a lot of searching and taking pictures. And there was enough action, honestly.
There were some parts where I felt a little confused about what was going on.
Well, yeah, but you gotta remember, it's a horror game. Not everything makes sense. There was a beautiful cardboard thing near the movie that somebody made. That was basically just the inside of the lung.
Thank you for bringing it up. So we went to our local theater to see this movie. I normally don't like to go there. I call it the Rat Theater, and it is a theater chain of the same first letter. I'm not going to say who it is, but I like to call it the Rat Theater because I've gone there multiple times, and I said, it's infested, it sucks, and then literally I went there one time with my girlfriend, and there was a rat that was crawling on the seats in the theater that we were in, and the lights weren't even down, the lights were up. He was just boldly just walking around in our theater while we were at the movies. So I normally don't like to go there, but I will have to shout out that this girl that works there, I'll probably like scroll her Instagram or something like that if she lets me, but this girl that works at the theater, she made this beautiful, and we're going to show some footage of this, prop of the iron lung, and complete with like the buttons and everything. It was so cool, and like so much attention to detail. She even had like red tape to like, you know, to keep the illusion alive. It was so cool. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, it was so freaking cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because I was like shocked to see that, because like other movies get like a poster that the studio brings, but literally Markiplier fans and YouTuber fans are so diehard, they made their own prop for the local theater, which is so cool to me.
You know what was even crazier? Like normally you'd think, oh, it's just the outside. But no, you go inside and there's a control panel.
It was a beautiful touch. It was really, honestly, a labor of love. Like the movie, like Markiplier, Hollywood, take the right lessons from this movie. Please don't just give influencers and YouTubers money to make movies. Projects of passion by passionate people. Let them do their thing. Last thing we're gonna do is the IMDb game. The IMDb game is a game where we rate a movie on a scale on IMDb. So we are going to rate,
On a scale of 1 to 10.
how would you rate it?
Well, I definitely think it was rewatchable. I could rewatch that. I would rewatch that if given the chance.
Okay.
Great acting, especially since it was mainly just one actor the entire movie.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
And even when there was like these other actors that had not as much screen time, but still screen time, they were still doing pretty great at just selling the illusion that they were there the whole time, not just they were there whenever the camera was on them. I say the scenery is also really good. The CGI was amazing, and especially for CGI. Like, that took effort, you can tell.
All done in-house. Crazy.
In a literal render farm, which I'm pretty sure was made in a bathroom.
It was, in fact.
And also, you gotta give it credit because it was made by a single person. Like, even though Markiplier is obviously very talented, it was still made by a single person. That's pretty crazy. Directed and taking on the role of lead actor on top of that. It kind of reminds me of Rocky, where Sylvester Stallone wrote the script. He was also the lead actor.
Yep. And he wouldn't do the movie unless he got to be the lead actor. Pretty brave. What would you rate it?
9.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10.
And I know...
One of his favorite movies. That is crazy. That's awesome.
I
He
know
really
it-
liked it. He
yeah.
really enjoyed it. He was like ecstatic when we walked out of the theater. Yeah.
I know it just sounds like I'm hot from leaving the movie just now. I just watched it. Really, oh my goodness, it's so great. Think of how much went into making that movie. It was so good. Better than a lot of movies that I've seen.
Noah's a 9.5. I have to rate it a little bit lower because Lord of the Rings is my 9.5s and above. My forevers. A couple of the Star Trek movies. Back to the Future. I'll have to bring it down. I will say on second viewing, I'm going to bring it up to an 8.
You rated it a 7 last time.
Yes.
Why?
I was a little bit too confused.
Well, I mean, once you take into consideration that some of the things were literal hallucinations, it also makes sense because he was unconscious for a few days.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if you were unconscious for a few days in a metal submarine where it's really hot and you don't have a lot of oxygen, you would be hallucinating too.
Okay, well, this has been our review of Iron Lung. I think we need more independently financed horror films made by passionate filmmakers. Markiplier has a track record of making great content online. He made Heist with Markiplier, In Space with Markiplier. All those are excellent, phenomenal, interactive stories that he made on YouTube. You can go and watch those for free. He also made a great TV show called Edge of Sleep that is on Amazon Prime. He's a known actor. He's directed, he's acted, he's done all this before. He's the kind of guy you want making movies. I cannot wait to see what he makes next. Thanks, Noah.
Thank you, Dad.
That was fun. If you were to design the ultimate torture device,